Trivedi, Digital Media Executive of Edvantage India. I'm more than happy to welcome Mr. Lavish Garg as our guest for the evening. Before beginning herewith, I would request everybody to put their queries which you have while the session is going on in the chat box. And please refrain from speaking while you're in the session. Thank you. I would now begin with first introducing what is Edvantage India. So is the screen visible to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Edvantage India offers cost-effective, cost-customized training programs as per client requirements. We deal with consultancy, we deal with online courses of the oil and gas domain at extremely economic rates. We have top-tier faculty and consultants with an average 20 plus experience at the oil and gas company. We conduct webinars and courses on the trending topics in the industry. And the experience in oil field that you need to acquire, we provide you right at your screen. And we also believe in providing overall development of students and professionals. So this is our podcast session with Mr. Lavish Garg that we will be having today. Some of the technical advisors, consultants of Edvantage India are Milind Gokhale, Mr. Sanjay Joshi, Sameer Kale, with a very renowned number of years of experience in the industry. You can have a look at the technical advisors that we have and the quality of education that we provide. Okay, so let me first introduce the one with whom we are here today. Lavish has 4+ years of international experience in oil and gas industry and management consulting. Having completed MBA from NMIMS and Petroleum Engineering from MIT Pune, he was one of the top 7 petroleum engineers selected in 2017 for Emerging Leaders Alliance Conference held in Washington, Virginia. Having a penchant for helping people grow in their professional lives, he has expanded his domains to resume and cover letter writing. Worked with global teams across Middle East, Asia Pacific, US, Europe, and Russia, he has experience fostering cross-cultural connections, building personal brand, and progressing in the corporate world. He has worked with the big giants like ZS Consultants and Weatherford. We are honored to have you with us today. With this, I'd like to hand over to Lavish, sir, to express his thoughts for this session. And once he is done, we will start with the questions.
Sure. Thank you for the warm welcome, Shivangi. So good evening, good afternoon. I think we have international people as well, so I'm not sure what are their time zones. So welcome all, everyone. I hope everybody is staying safe and in good spirits. We can turn on everyone's camera if anybody has some problem. I can see at least their faces. Yeah, folks. Yeah, people are turning on. Yes. And because this session, I would like more to be interactive session. So whatever questions you have, feel free to discuss. And based on your facial expression, I can judge if you are still in the session or sleeping. This is not just another corporate or college lecture which we'll be having. So yeah, waiting for others also. Joel is left, Shahul Rudy, Noel, Fenil, Parth, Jishad. So guys, can you turn on your cameras as well? Yeah, Joel is happy. He's smiling. So, I mean, what we can do is we can begin. I mean, Shivangi has given a very brief introduction about myself. So, before that, I mean, we can just start a quick introduction about from the participants as well. What you can do is you can just tell if you are in college, you can just tell your year and what your interests and what you want to achieve from this session and specific questions you have. And if you are an early career, you can tell which companies you're working. Yeah, just a quick intro. So, I mean, I guess we can start with Bharat Rawat.
Yeah, hi Lavish, hi all. This is Bharat. I'm working with Wipro since the past 1 year, and I'm working as an associate consultant, working in the real-time data space for BP right now. Yeah. With this project, with this podcast, I'm looking to how to better project my resume to the other people, and how to switch from an IT-based company to maybe a product-based or a core company within petroleum domain.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Bharat. Next, we can go Carlson. Yeah, Carlson, can you can we have a quick introduction from yourself? Carlson, can you hear us?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, can you please introduce yourself? I mean, what are you doing in professional life? Are you in college or working?
Yeah, I'm Carson from the University of Bamenda, Bamili, Cameroon. Actually, I want to attend the session and train myself more about the engineering factory and improve on my resume.
Okay, got it. Got your point. Okay, all right. Thank you, Carlson. We can move to Joel.
Yeah, actually, I have more network problems that I'm managing.
Yeah, Carlson, you said something, yeah?
Yeah, I see network problems, but I'm managing.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Carlson. Yeah, yeah, Joel.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm Joel. I'm a fourth year chemical engineering from Kerala. Then what? That's all.
Okay,
Fourth
so
year
what? Yeah,
Oh,
so what are expectations from the podcast?
better how to use betterly LinkedIn
Okay,
resumes. That's all.
okay, got it. Okay, all right. We can move to Jishad.
I am working in Oman and I graduated in mechanical engineering. I am working as a H2S consultant in Occidental Oman. I was working here for the past 4 years, and I wish and I am looking forward to change my career. So I have a good idea about all these operations, but I don't have much deep knowledge about each and every operation. Yes, I got good exposure with all the oil and gas operations, but
Mm-hmm.
I need to change my profession specifically to some management professions.
Okay,
So I'm looking forward to it.
okay, sure. That's great,
Okay,
Jishad.
I'm sorry, I was in my night shift and I'm a
Okay.
little bit nervous. That's why.
No worries, no worries. We all are working from home.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jishada. So we can move to Shirag. Shirag, you're muted. Shirag, can you please unmute yourself?
I'm sorry for the sake. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Good evening. Yeah.
Myself, Sriraj. I'm a petroleum engineering graduate. I have passed out in 2019. Right now, I'm working in a semi-core company. It's an offshore-based company. And by this podcast, I have posed 2 questions to Shivanki. Hope she will be asking the same. And that's all.
Okay, sure. Okay, all right. Thank you, Chirag. Next is Ashutosh.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, Ashutosh. Yeah. We can't hear you, Ashutosh.
Hello.
Yeah, it's audible now. Yeah.
Yeah. Myself, Ashutosh Rai, completed BTech Science. BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from Graphicera University, Dehradun, and currently living in Dehradun, and I'm preparing for government exams like civil services.
Okay.
And I want to get means from this podcast, I want to learn about how to create means how to enhance our networking.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashutosh. We can move to who's left? Shahul. Shahul, can you hear us? I think he's not hearing us. So we can move to Parth.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm attending the lecture from my laptop and I have some webcam issues. I'm not able to, turn on the camera. It doesn't work. Coming into my introduction, I'm Parth Sharma and I'm a petroleum engineering graduate only. And I'm currently working as a business analyst at Enverus. And I have also posed my 3 questions to Shivangi. I'm also looking for a career change. And because you have a background in analyst field, so just wanted to know the future of this particular industry.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you, Parth. We can move to Barka. No issues, Shahul. We got your message. No issues. Yeah. Yeah, Barka. Can you please introduce yourself? I think Barka got disconnected. Okay, moving on to the last person. I'm not sure the number is popping up, but not the name. 9784. Can you please quickly introduce yourself? Barka, can you hear us? I'm not sure. Okay, no issues. So thank you everyone for the introduction. I'll just share my screen. I have a small PPT prepared. I mean, we could like it's not typical kind of PPT which you are used to. Please tell me if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Visible.
So, any guesses what are these RIPL? I mean, these are it's related to career. So, what do you think? What these are? Any quick guesses?
R for resume.
Yes. Okay.
L for LinkedIn.
Okay.
P for personality.
Okay, got it right. Only one is left. I.
Is it interview?
Yeah, it's interview. So yeah, everybody got it right. So I think like these are, I guess, 4 aspects which actually make your career. I mean, if even single thing moves out of this box, I mean, it's difficult to progress careers. I mean, resume. If we talk about resume, not if everybody is following me on LinkedIn, I usually post regular updates on resumes, how to enhance your resumes. I usually comment on people's posts when people are posting their resumes on LinkedIn for asking for job and helps, because lots of people have lost jobs due to COVID. So uh, I believe resume is the most underrated skill which people have, and people actually don't put in much efforts into a resume. What I've seen, I'm not sure why, but I mean, I guess they're lethargic, or I mean, they don't want to put in efforts because I mean, resume has a lot of things which we'll be discussing now later on. So I have a couple of slides on what not to do and what to do in your resume. So that's the R part. After your resume is actually shortlisted, then comes the interview. So after, I mean, I have worked with Weatherford and ZS Associates and other companies as well. So I believe even if you don't have a skill, but if you have something to showcase or prove that skill, you can easily crack those interviews. And it's not mandatory and like to have those skills, or have like, if the companies are writing 3 to 4 years of experience, they require in like suppose if you are applying for an analyst position or a senior analyst or a consultant, and they ask for 3 to 4 or 5 years experience or 1 or 2 year experience in dashboards or visualization or analytical tools, etc. I mean, these are just tools, right? I mean, after 3 to 4 years, these will phase out, new tools will come in. But what they're trying to look for is your ability to learn, to grasp. I mean, most of the companies have at entry level, at entry level positions, they usually have courses, and usually companies switch to on the job training. Some companies like ZS Associates, I mean, they have really awesome training programs inside. Once you join in, like I joined in after my 1 year of experience, and I believe ZS Associates was a really good career move which I made. I mean, personally, ZS Associates is one of the best companies in India, which would actually hire a non-experienced analytics student or graduate, and they'll train you. Actually, they'll train you on everything. I mean, there are no limits where you can achieve in ZS Associates. You can become experts in SQL, R, Python, Tableau. I mean, it's like all the data analytics consulting, and inside they have so many programs, tremendous learning programs, and even they actually make you do, if like, obviously you have to qualify, but they actually make you do 1 year MBA also from ISB. But of course you have to give the tests and clear the interview and all. But yeah, you give you an opportunity. So I believe for learning, for growing initially, uh, it's the, I guess, one of the big companies you can look for. And the competitors, I guess, New Sigma also, and others as well. Because honestly, I mean, data science is on the hype. So if you know R, SQL, or Python, I mean, definitely you will have an advantage. We have, I guess, one of the business analysts working at Envirus, right, with us. So, I mean, he can also vouch for how much important these skills are. Even Excel. I mean, people don't know advanced Excel. When I joined in there, I mean, I was like surprised. In the 4 years of my college, nobody taught me to write if lookup command or VLOOKUP command. If we don't even knew some ifs, countifs. I mean, college people, they actually they don't focus on these important skills. So I think for at least the college people, and even in the entry level 0 to 5, I think even if you go to corporate executive level management, I mean, Excel is the only thing which will remain constant. All the SQL are will be phased out. Excel is what everybody's using. So that's about the interview. Then we move on to the P part, which is the professional networking. So I mean, most honestly, uh, there are jobs definitely on the portals, but there are more than those jobs, hidden jobs, which you say, the hidden job market, which actually doesn't come on the portal. So that actually you only get through references. Positions are opened on jobs portals once the candidates are finalized. They are just like a requisition request which the company has to make, open it, and that's it. The candidates are already hired, and you are actually uh, uh, somebody's controlling the screen, I think. Lara something. Oh no, sorry, Lana DR. Not sure who is controlling the screen. Shivangi, can you check? Someone is controlling the screen and these lines are coming up.
Guys, please maintain the decorum of the webinar. Hello.
I mean, somebody has a control, I guess, or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah. So, and rest, yeah, we are talking about the professional networking. So, I mean, before the position even opens, so you need to be in touch with people who can actually refer you before the position opens up to the network. So, as you know, once the position is out in the market, I mean, thousands and thousands of people will be applying. And after the I mean, there's a process of recruitment, right? The position opens, thousands of applicants are there. They will go through ATS systems, that is applicant tracking systems. The resumes will get shortlisted based on the keywords and all the parameters which ATS has. And after that, the first round, I mean, before even recruiter sees, your resume will be shortlisted. It will be selected or dumped before even a human will look at it. So that is a main part, making a ATS compliant resumes, which we'll be talking about today. And after, suppose a recruiter receives 1,000 applications. I mean, what do you expect? How a recruiter will shortlist or select few hundreds or 50s of CVs for interviews? I mean, it will be only based on keywords, right? No, it's humanly not possible to review with CV, right? So that's what the thing. You have to be in the top 100 applicants, top 50 or top 10 applicants in order to be shortlisted and selected. Because once, suppose there are 2 positions open or 5 positions open, so the companies will be interviewing 10x candidates. So 50 or 100 people, they'll be shortlisting. So once they have a process, like if 40 or 50 people are shortlisted and they're put in the process of interviewing, and people progress towards stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 interviews, so they actually stop shortlisting the new CVs which are coming in. You're getting the point. Applying to a position as soon as possible is very, very important. If you are applying after 7 or 10 days, I mean, you can get definitely, I mean, it's luck if you put the right keywords and they are not getting a good candidates. But honestly, if they are getting good candidates and they are already in the process of interviewing, your resume will be put on hold. Because suppose 20 candidates or 30 candidates are in the process of interviewing, stage 3 or stage 4, the process will be completed, and if those don't get selected, then only your applications will be progressed. So that's where early applications and come in. That's where actually LinkedIn comes in. Suppose mostly some people are chemical background also, and petroleum background as well. So building a brand among yours for your own specific skill is important on LinkedIn. I mean, on LinkedIn, people are usually putting up random content not related to their skills. So, I mean, the community which you are growing, it's not actually relevant to you. So suppose, I mean, people are here to answer your questions. Many people want to change into management roles, right? Into consulting, strategy consulting, management consulting. So what you need, guys, you need to do is add more people in those domains to your network. Send requests to those people. Send requests to the consultants working in your dream companies. So that's where my next question comes in. So what's your dream company? That's my question. Suppose you want to get into ZS Associates for entry-level people. You want to get into Schlumberger. You want to get into Halliburton. You want to get into Weatherford. You want to get into EY or McKinsey or whatever company you want to get in, start adding those people to your network, right? Send requests. If you send requests to 10 to 20 people, chances are 2 or 3 or 5 or more may get accepted. So they'll be sharing some posts, and there are referral programs as well. So if you have people working on those companies in your network, once a position comes in, they'll also actually post on LinkedIn that if you want a referral, you can shoot me an email. And that's how things work. If those people are not added in your LinkedIn, I mean, you won't even get to know. And honestly, referrals are the big thing, the the best shot which you can get for a position, honestly, because companies trust referrals more than non-referrals. If you directly apply as compared to a referral will always get an advantage. And honestly, my most uh, I mean, I've changed careers due to referrals, honestly. Referrals get you a big advantage, shortlist you, and the more senior person is referring you, the higher the chances are that you land up an interview. And honestly, in the job market, the only thing which candidates prefer or are waiting for is the call of interview. There are so many people who can actually crack the interview, they have the skills, but they just don't get to the interview stage. So that's the main fight. If you land up to the interview stage one, you get a call. I mean, I guess 50 to 60% thing is over. Now you have to actually work on, like, the ball is in your court. Then you can take your weight either to the offer letter or you'll be rejected. So now that's up to you. But before that, nothing is dependent on you. But if you have a referral, it definitely helps you. So today what you can do is kind of homework. Just list down some dream companies you want to work to, explore people's profiles who are working in your dream companies, read the job descriptions, and if you feel that okay, this is something which I want to do really in 6 months or the next switch, I mean, just send out a request. And also don't send out a request directly. I'll just after this PPT gets over, I'll just share my LinkedIn profile as well and let you know how to actually approach people on LinkedIn and not just randomly sending requests. Um, so just the basic about me. So I've done my MBA from NMIMS. This, like, I have a total 4 years of experience, but this MBA degree is a distance learning. So I encourage you all even to go for distance learning programs as well. Due to COVID, the importance of distance learning courses have increased actually, because regular programs, IMs, and also they are also teaching virtually. So essentially, if you have a distance learning degree, it's actually important. And I actually enrolled it 2 years back, and now I have completed actually. So now with 4 years experience, I have a 2 year complete MBA degree as well, and that is actually helping me to land some interviews. And like, just on basis of a distance learning degree, I've gotten interviews for strategy consulting, management consulting domains, and my ZS associates experience also helped. So I switched to ZS associates just after working 1 year with Weatherford. I mean, if you ask an oil and gas industry professional that why would you leave Weatherford in 1 year and join ZS Associates, I mean, they'll be like, they will never leave. They will never take the risk. So I think uh, I've been switching 1 year, 2 years, 2.5 years. I've been switching companies. So I think it doesn't matter even if you switch companies as early in your career. Just that the interview, you have to just defend your the decision. Why did you do? Even in my companies, in my interviews, they ask me, okay, you just moved on from Weatherford to ZS Associates. And after working for 1 year in ZS Associates, I again moved back to Weatherford in a different domain. So like, I mean, things happen. Like, you should actually take risks in early career, apply to your dream jobs. Honestly, I didn't expect myself to be at ZS Associates. I just sent my resume, it got shortlisted, gave in some tests were there. In the first round is tests, and then there are 3-stage process. I mean, they have a case study, they have an interview with manager, they have an interview with partner. So I mean, this is a kind of consultancy firm. So the interview process is also very tough. I mean, the guys who must have gone through campus placements, they know. And later on, actually, I was offered a very senior position in Weatherford in Barland domain. So I was a petrophysicist working for all the clients in India. in Weatherford. So I actually grabbed that opportunity and moved back. So I mean, I've been on a career spree, changing companies, trying out different domains. So I mean, don't be afraid. Keep switching. If you feel like the opportunity is really good, it's gonna be helpful. Go ahead. And luckily with Weatherford, I have actually traveled to Dubai for conferences, for client meetings. I've traveled to Houston as well for SP meetings. And I was also actually one of the only 7 petroleum engineers selected in 2017 for Emerging Leaders Alliance Conference. These 7 people are actually sponsored by SP to attend the conference in Washington or DC. And so all the petroleum engineering guys, I mean, you can apply this program. I guess now it's virtual now. So the applications, I guess, will be online in a couple of months, in May or June, I guess. This actually happens every year in November, it's like first 2 weeks. So you guys can look out for SP notifications. And that's what being active on LinkedIn is. On LinkedIn, honestly, this I didn't know anything about this ELA conference happening in Washington. I just came through LinkedIn. I was connected with a person working in US through SP, and she actually posted that today is the last day for the applications for ELA 2017. I was like, okay, what is this? Let me just have a look. And on the last day for the applications, I filled in my form, and I got selected. I mean, I didn't know anything before. So I mean, that's the power of LinkedIn. I mean, you need to be connected to the right people. That's important, right people. Don't just keep on adding connections. I mean, people are on a spree to go reach the 30,000 milestone on LinkedIn. I mean, it's no use. Have a good right connections which can actually help you see their profiles, see that if person is progressing, add them. They are sharing, they are active on LinkedIn. I mean, if a person has 50 connections, I mean, he's not active on LinkedIn. He's not going to share anything worthwhile. So look for people who are actually more active on LinkedIn. Add those and explore profiles. Don't just like Facebook add friend. That's it, and you forget. And yeah, and after that, now actually this is a part-time freelancing which I'm doing for career development, working on resumes, cover letters, interview preparation, and LinkedIn branding. So let me ask you guys, what's wrong in this resume? And don't be afraid, just whatever you feel like, let me know what's wrong.
There's a lot of commotion, lot of text, no spacing, so doesn't look very neat to the eye.
Okay.
Lavish, I read one of your comments in LinkedIn. There you said that, a picture is not necessary. So I'm thinking
Right.
Easier.
The picture is the thing you should never include in your resume. I mean, if you are pretty, you may land up in interview, but you never know what the other person will think when they will see your photo. Any other comments? What's wrong?
Objective is missing.
Objective is missing. Yeah, you see that the person has actually more than 20 years of experience, 2001 to 2012. So I mean, having an objective, not objective actually, profile summary. Objective is not the right statement. An objective is not thing you should have. Profile summary you should have actually. So any other comments? What's wrong?
Life philosophy does not seem to be appropriate here.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, life philosophy is not suggested actually. Yeah. What about other guys? I mean, Bharat is the expert here. What about other guys? What do you think? What's wrong in this resume? I guess some people had questions regarding resume, right?
Even a day of my life sections seems to be inappropriate.
Yeah, day of yeah. So okay, so even this is wrong. I mean, if you guys know ATS, right? Applicant tracking systems. So these resumes are put actually through softwares. I mean, before a recruiter analyzes. So what we'll do is it'll extract all the text from this. So these pie charts and all this will not be read in your ATS. So there's no point actually including any graphics, pictographics, infographics in your resume. Don't ever put this. Have words. If you want to really tell a day about my life, just write it down. I mean, as a schedule. Don't put a pie chart. It will not be read. And actually mess up formatting. So this is wrong. As rightly Bharat pointed out, you never should have a picture in your resume. Next thing is strengths. You can actually write it down as like 18 by 24. I mean, recruiter will get confused, right? I mean, what's happening here? She's writing a number and all the others, she's not writing numbers, and here the space is there. And I mean, it's like confusing, right? Be it consistent, put bullet points, and then write the strengths. Just say the same about here languages. I mean, the ATS systems or the recruiting companies won't read these symbols. They'll just read English, Spanish, German. That's it. So there's no point in putting these highlighted symbols and all to showcase your proficiency. Nothing. You can actually put, I mean, I guess A1, A2, something certifications are there for these international languages. So actually better put those if you have any other certifications, because having a text is important. So that's what is wrong with this resume. What other suggestions I would have is, like Bharat pointed, a life philosophy is not needed. Marisa can actually have a profile summary, because I mean, she has like around, if you see, more than 10 years of experience. So summarizing your experience, I mean, if a recruiter looks at this resume, I mean, hardly it will get 10 to 15 seconds, right? So in 10 to 50 seconds, she won't be able to go through all this. She'll be only be reading some few key pointers. So that's where the profile summary comes in. Profile summary has to actually summarize your experience. It has to have some numbers, some major key accomplishments of your career, professional life, which you're proud of. If you actually notice, the Marisa has actually included the bullet points. Work experience has numbers, like led the $5 billion acquisition of the company. So having numbers in the resume is important. If Marisa writes, led the acquisition of the company with Verizon, I mean, it is not impactful. But putting numbers into picture, that the 5 billion is important, no matter how much small. But if your number is really small, suppose here is an example. Suppose here, oversaw, oversaw 1,000 plus engineers and product managers working on Google Maps. So suppose you are leading a team of 1 or 2 or 3 people. It doesn't matter. I mean, write it down that managed or led 3 plus engineers and product managers, or whatever analysts or associates you are working with. I mean, focus more on accomplishments rather than responsibilities, right? There are job responsibilities which your role has, which the company has written, but don't write those. Focus more on accomplishments, what you actually did. So if you are working as an engineer or analyst or associate or a sales guy, I mean, write down how many sales you converted, how much revenue did you bring in, how many clients did you handle, and not like you handled the sales strategy or you handled the sales department of the company. I mean, it doesn't say anything about you, what you actually did. The recruiter wants to know what you did in your role and not what was expected, right? So for the resume, I think these are aspects which are important. First is the profile summary. Don't have objective, but have a profile summary. Summary has, I mean, people tend to use various buzzwords along the profile summary, that experienced engineer looking to work with organizations and help achieve their own growth as well as company's growth. I mean, so these are the buzzwords which you shouldn't use. Instead, have a profile summary detailing your accomplishments. Suppose you led a team of 5 or 10 engineers, or you actually helped company crack the good sales deal, or you actually worked on a important project for a very big client, Fortune 500 client. So you can actually write experienced engineer with 2+ years of experience, worked with one of the major Fortune 500 client and help them with detailed business insights. Yeah, something like this. This is actually more powerful. And here you should actually write what's your interest is. Suppose you want to get into management consulting or strategy consulting or other changing domains. So list down your courses. Like you can have a 2 to 3 bullet points. If you have more experience, you can actually write a 2 to 3 bullet points in your profile summary as well. You can say that having completed these and these courses, or with the knowledge of these, I'm actually currently targeting challenging research and consulting assignments in the energy domain or in the chemical domain, whatever. So like targeting challenging research and consulting assignments, I mean, this is a good line. Instead people write organizational objectives and all, that's no point. Focus on writing numbers also. If you have very good numbers to present, suppose you delivered around 500 or 1000 reports, you were involved in weekly or monthly reports or whatever, I mean, if it's significant, try to mold your summary accordingly. Moving on to the internships or work experience. The work experience should be written with, I mean, some people write paragraphs, but I mean, what is suggested is they should write actually bullet points. Bullet points also should have numbers wherever applicable. I'm not saying convert all the bullet points with numbers. No, it's not possible. Some will be qualitative, some will be quantitative, right? Whatever you achieved in your role. So try to see that whatever you can convert into a number, write the numbers. It doesn't have to be exact, it has to be approximate, but give a hint. You increase the sales by 10%. If your number is 1 or 2, don't write number. Be relative, give percentages, give relative numbers. Also, start your work all the bullet points of the work experience should start with a strong action verb. Don't write I was working, I was doing this, I was doing that. No, personal pronouns are not suggested. Use action verbs. You can Google action verbs for resume. I mean, you will get hundreds of links with thousands of words. There are more than 500,000 of action verbs available on the internet. Just go through this. Those action verbs are actually categorized as per the category also. Led, if you suppose you want to write something that you led a team, there are action verbs specific to lead. Manage separate. If you initiated something, there are separate action verbs for those. So explore the categories sorry, and write your bullet points starting with action verbs. That is very, very important. Moving on to the projects, I mean, many people here are students as well, and also for people actually who are looking for changing domains to management or executive. I mean, if you have carried out in projects, academic projects, or Coursera or Udemy or any other projects you have carried out to actually enhance your skill, I mean, list it down. Suppose for people who are on the call, for people who are actually looking to change into a different domain, your order of the sections of your resume should be, first should be profile summary, then should be the core competencies, and if you have any relevant projects, you mention those projects, and after that work experience. So that's how the resume should be ordered. For people who are actually wanted to switch into a similar domain which they're currently only working, put work experience on the top after the profile summary. Obviously, profile summary, work experience, and then the projects and the education. So for people who are actually not doing any courses or having completed the education already, don't put the education on top. Put it after work-ex. Education is not important. Like I was doing a distance learning program. So my MBA degree is important for me to switch into consulting domain. So that's why I put profile summary, then core competencies, then education, then work-ex. You're getting the point. That's how you do it. Put things, recruiter will mostly analyze your first page of resume. That's it. On basis of that, you'll get selected. Mostly. If your first page is attractive, then only they'll move to second page. And yeah, for people mostly with all the students on the call, as well as a 1 year or 2 year experience, I think having a max 2-page resume is what is recommended. The best suggestion is 1 page. But if you have a lot of accomplishments and things to showcase, then you feel that, okay, you have done a lot of things in your resume and in your college, in your projects and work-ex, go for 2 page, no issues. There's no hard and fast rule. But make sure that every word counts. Single word, even every single word should not be a wasted opportunity. Moving on to extracurricular activities. I mean, for people targeting actually multinational companies, they actually look for extracurricular activities. I mean, there are hundreds of people with technical knowledge, which you have. There's nothing different. But what will set you apart is extracurricular activities. They want strong communication skills. If you have volunteered in Toastmasters Club or any other debates or extempos or whatever leadership opportunities which you have carried out in your projects or in your college time, or you volunteered for an NGO or any other foundations, when put those are important. Don't underestimate the extracurricular activities, especially for multinational companies. Moving on to then achievements. Highlight your important achievements only. Sometimes people uh, treat the achievement section also kind of as a work experience as well only. Achievements should be starting with like action verb kind of. So suppose you uh, achieved a first position, so you can write achieved first position, whatever the your achievement is. And I've seen people highlighting like bold, formatting the bold complete line for the achievements. All the bullet points of the work, the achievements are highlighted in bold. I mean, bold is not recommended for highlighting complete sentences. Restrict the bold formatting to just the key or 2 to 3 words. That's it. Even in the work experience, uh, you can use underline, but don't underline more than 4 to 5 words. I mean, underline is just to highlight the keywords, 2 words, 1 word, 3 words, that's it. So don't overuse bold or underline. I mean, if you want to actually test your resume, if it looks good or no, print the resume, have a third person look at your printed resume. That's what the honest opinion will be. You won't get to know how it looks on computer screen, but actually when it comes to a third person, then you'll get to know how bad it looks. Completely formatting. Some people are there, they format whole resume in bold, whole resume. I mean, person is not able to read or focus user's attention. And the recommended font types also, I would like to tell you, please don't use Times New Roman. What is suggested is for content and the body, use Calibri. Even Microsoft moved from Times New Roman to Calibri as their default font. If you had a look sometime in after 2013 or 2017 office, even Microsoft moved from Times New Roman. I mean, I'm not sure why people are stuck on Times New Roman. That's not a new recommended format. Calibri actually, if you search on Google why Calibri is recommended, you will get to know why I'm saying. It has a really good readability. I mean, person is not like distracted mentally. Honestly, there is a science behind it. I mean, some fonts are actually more readable. You actually want to read more, and that's where Calibri comes in. Some fonts are, you'll person will be like, some like art feeling will be there. Okay, I cannot read more than this. So that's the scientific or reason wherein you should actually wisely choose your fonts. Then coming on the core competencies, I mean, for people switching domains to different career fields or management or executive or consulting, having core competencies is very important. Put this before WorkX. Profile summary, core competencies or skills, and then WorkX. That's how you should target your resume for people changing domains. So on the left is resume, which is very, very text heavy. And all the resume is formatted in one single font type and font size. Everything is same, right? So now you see, if you are given this resume, I mean, you are having a slight difficulty identifying sections. I mean, you are not actually wanting to read this resume, right? You are like, okay, you'll just read, okay, Six Sigma, okay, You'll move to education. Okay. I mean, you are actually not wanting to read this resume, right? Now let's compare the right side resume. Some formatting issue here and there while taking snapshot, but I mean, recruiter will look at this resume. He'll know, okay, experience is here, summary is here, contact. He knows, okay, trainings are here, skills are here, education is here. So he know where to focus on. Suppose a recruiter has various criteria. He should have BTech, MTech, or PhD. I mean, he knows where to look for. On the left resume, he's actually confused. He doesn't know where to look at. He's actually lost in this resume. And here, if you see, the numbers are highlighted. I mean, planned 110 wells, right? So this has been underlined. So because this is the focus. That's I was talking about quantification of bullet points. You will see not all bullet points are quantified, but wherever it's possible, we have highlighted it. Here, suppose see here, achieving 90% compliance rate. So here the quantification comes in. And if you notice, all the bullet points are starting with a keyword, action verb, planned, maintaining, planning, analyzing, verifying, liaising, creating, assisting, spearheading, recognized, conducted, corrected, mentoring. You see the point? Having a strong action verbs is what is recommended for all the bullet points. That will help you actually to have a more impactful resume. And yeah, so this is a difference between a well-formatted resume. Also, the spacing is important. On the left-hand side, if you see all the text has been squeezed, I mean, the spacing is removed, the interline spacing. And here, if you see, I mean, there's optimum spacing between each line. So the readability is not reduced actually. So what this person has to do actually is reduce content. Some points are not important, reduce it. Don't overdo your, if you are like restricting to making a one-page resume, don't be like, okay, put 600 or 700 words. I think the average good amount of words range around 400, 450, 350. That is fine. But I've seen people writing more than 600 or 700 words in one page, reducing the font size to 10. Don't reduce the font size below 10. Even for 10 size, Verdana font, if you guys know, Verdana font for 10 will be different as compared to Arial 10. So even these change. So prepare a resume, do the formatting, put the headings 2 points bigger than this. Suppose this is 10 or 11, put the heading minimum 12 or 13, higher than the body, so that the person knows, okay, where to look at. Here, the font size is same, so it's difficult for the recruiter to identify. These are the small things which you need to look for in the resume. And after a section ends, have some space. It looks good actually. If you just like suppose here, I've purposely put this. So this has been actually cut because this is a text box and it has been cut. Print the PDF and then see how it's looking. In MS Word, you won't get to know how it is, how good resume is. Print it in the PDF and then see how it's looking. So I guess yes. Now Shivangi, I guess you have a list of questions, so we can take those questions as well. And any other doubts?
Anybody, while I'm asking the questions, can put your queries in the chat box. I haven't received any till now, as people said in the beginning. So you can please type it again in the chat box. But I would like to begin with certain questions that were received before. So the first question is, that there are numerous colleges in India offering education in petroleum sector, some low grade and some high grade. For a student who has pursued his education from not that esteemed university, how would you suggest him or her to be influential in the domain and go ahead?
Okay. Just a sec. I'm actually sharing one sample resume in the chat. It's a sample resume which I've removed all the confidential information. You guys can actually download this and use this format. like there's a profile summary, there's core competencies, there work-ex. You can actually use this format for formatting your resume. And to answering Shivangi's question, so I think passing, I mean, definitely passing from a premier top tier 1 or tier 2 college helps, but that's not where life ends. I mean, even I'm not passed out from top tier 1 IITs or NITs, but still, I mean, I was lucky to go to international, so many countries, so many locations: Dubai, Washington, Abu Dhabi, Houston. So I don't think college matters. It's how you actually build a profile. While I was in college, I actually traveled to a lot of colleges in India. I mean, UPS, IIT Kharagpur, PDPU, Bangalore. I mean, there were SP conferences in Mumbai, Bangalore. So we participated in all the conferences, all the competitions where we would get to and build a profile. Volunteered online, build up portfolios. There was so much to write on a resume. So that's, you actually have to build your profile. I mean, it's all about selling yourself. How do you sell? If you don't have top tier 1 tag, you have to work more hard. That's a clear cut thing. If you are tier 1, definitely you'll get an advantage. But if you're not tier 1, you have to work hard. Like I have now completed my distance learning MBA. So enroll in courses. I mean, keep on learning, keep on enrolling. There's so much free of cost you can do, or very minimal cost. I mean, if you don't have money to do MBA of worth 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs, I mean, go for a distance learning. It hardly costs rupees 1 lakh for 2 years. I mean, everybody can spare 1 lakh rupees, right, for 2 years. And people are spending even the undergraduation fees is more than 10 lakhs these days for engineering colleges. So I think if you take a Coursera course, paid subscription, Coursera, it's hardly 3,500 rupees per month. You can do unlimited courses in 3,500 rupees. So I mean, opportunities are unlimited.